We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Please, please. Oh my God, I will vote. I love Tesla. I will vote. I will vote. Tesla. For Donald Trump. We're going to win economically. When people go out to vote, no fear, no more. Everything's computer. Vote for Trump. Computer. Vote for Trump. We're going to win with military. If you want to keep America great, Mr. President, it's Trump. Too much. Let's do it. I vote for Trump. We can't take it anymore. Oh my God, I will vote. I'd like to be voted. I will vote. Oh yeah, for Donald Trump.
Today, we're heading down to Daily Plaza to go join the 5051 protests and take a look at how pissed off people actually are.
The second time this month, Daily Plaza filled up, city streets shut down for an anti-Trump protest. Today, demonstrators in Chicago coincided with protests all over the country. Arnold Brennan.
If you're like me, and, well, let's be honest, at this point, like half the country, you spent the last 3 months holding on as tightly as possible as America rockets itself towards fascism and its inevitable implosion. Now, you would think that in a time when people are getting black-bagged off the street and shipped to El Salvador, somebody, anyone, would try literally anything to stop it.
I am going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win!
But, that's not happening. Now, I'll be honest, when I first found out that the hands-off protest was happening in Chicago, let's just say I was a little less than optimistic about it. I don't know, something about the whole hands-off my NATO thing and the cutesy signs that look like Aaron Sorkin wrote them didn't quite get me into that revolutionary spirit. I know there's a lot of people who are really on board with all this DNC-branded resistance lib shit. But come on, man, are we seriously gonna entertain the idea that someone like Cory Booker is gonna stop the MAGA movement with his 25-hour filibuster 2 days before sending over $8 billion to fund Israel's genocide? Call me a skeptic, but I think the odds of a political revolution being ushered in by neoliberal democratic policy is just as likely as it being introduced by Lin-Manuel in a musical rap breakdown.
Yeah, have you all unravel at the sound of screams, but the revolution is coming, the have-nots are gonna win this. Let's all to listen to you with a straight face.
So, I guess you could say when we showed up to the April 5th hands-off protest and its April 19th cousin, the 5051 movement's People's Protest, I wasn't super optimistic about the impact that these protests were gonna have. But, I don't know. What else was I gonna do, sit on my ass all day? So when we first got to Daily Plaza, it was pretty much exactly what I thought it was gonna be. You had a lot of people with their punny signs and witty slogans, and enough costumes and face paint to fill a county fair.
I'm going to deport you to El Salvador.
You're gonna send me to CCOT?
Yes, I'm gonna get rid of all your citizenships.
When it comes to these kinds of things, it can be really difficult to sift through the performance to find the passion and the point to why people are there to begin with.
4 words. Don't vote for bullies. Get it? Do not vote for bullies. Please, pretty please, do not, at the risk of repeating myself, I have to say it. Don't vote for bullies.
And I think it becomes really easy to ask yourself, do people care about why they're there to protest? Or are they just looking for something to do?
How long have people been whacking on that thing?
Dude, it's been a while, man. I made it too sturdy. So the last one I did, it broke. Wait.
But the only way to figure out the answer to those questions is to just ask people.
So yeah, I guess just to start, what's brought you out here today to protest?
I don't want to fund the bombs in Gaza. I don't want, I want health care.
Trump administration needs to be aware that what they're trying to do with this country is not something any of us asked for, not something any of us want, and it's not the future of this country.
Yeah, so we're out here with Fair Vote Illinois. We're currently working on getting ranked choice voting in Chicago's City Council.
We have a resolution coming up later this year to put it on the ballot in Chicago next April. This is an opportunity to save the city money as well, while improving democracy at a time when clearly people are very upset about democracy being at risk.
Policy seems like too weak a word to describe what the Trump administration is doing. This is wholesale destruction. They're trying to eliminate every institution that is intended to hold power accountable.
My main issue is healthcare for Americans. Why don't we have healthcare? Why are we buying bombs to genocide a country?
Okay, wait, that guy's kind of spitting. I mean, I'll admit it. I didn't expect that people would really be all that locked in at the people's protest. I just expected a bunch of MSNBC wine moms ranting about how much of a dickhead Trump was being to Zelensky. The same kind of we need to return to normalcy and respectability politics rhetoric that plagued 2020. But hearing issues of Gaza and immigrant rights, the erosion of due process and Medicare for all, that I didn't expect.
The mob mentality of the whole administration that every single thing is a wedge, like everything. The universities he's attacking, they're coming for Social Security. There's no fucking health care. What the fuck are we doing?
We're in a situation right now where we can't wait another minute. Every administration that has managed to drag people into fascism has started by creating situations where everyone's a criminal, everyone's illegal. The minute you start hearing those words, you have to get out and you have to stand for something. Because the minute they can actually call anyone they want a criminal, anyone they want illegal, they can do anything they want to the rest of us.
Millions of liberals have been begging all year for any kind of direction on what to do to counter the Trump administration. And so far, a lot of those pleas have been ignored, especially by the Democratic Party. And I totally get the frustration that the left has with shallow, directionless, resistance liberalism. But come on, man, we gotta be better than those guys.
We won't rest. We won't rest. Thank you, everybody.
The people who made it out to these protests want to be organized. They want to be told how they can materially help defeat the Trump agenda. Liberal news outlets would have you believe that the average American is on board with things like reactionary immigration policy, unconditional support for Israel, and the rollback of trans rights. The same kind of regressive and cruel policies that the right has somehow been able to brand as common sense and moderate. The same kind of policies that the Democratic Party seems all too eager to adopt. But even at the hands-off protests, the only common positions that we could find were a whole lot more progressive and, according to the DNC, radical than mainstream outlets are giving the American people credit for.
I'm a refugee caseworker. Refugee resettlement is now gone. I lost my job for a bit. People are disappearing. Students are being taken when they speak out. People are losing their green cards. Our immigrant communities are being targeted. They're completely breaking all of the laws that we set around immigration and refugee resettlement.
The kidnapping of Mahmoud Khalil, these are disappearances. Sending people down to Louisiana where they don't have access to their attorneys, where they don't have access to fundamental due process protections that are guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution. Even if you're talking about conservatives on the court, Antonin Scalia ruled that if you are an immigrant in the United States, you still have due process protections. The only way we are going to stop the rollback of American rights and the ludicrously aggressive measures that the Trump administration has taken is people got to get committed to mass action and got to get committed to getting outside and just putting their foot down in the way that a lot of other places have done. You look at South Korea, when their president tried to declare martial law, people got out in the streets and they just literally said no. You got to join an organization. You got to get to know your neighbors.
There are so many organizations right now that work with refugees and immigrants that are putting on Know Your Rights campaigns, and the Trump administration and Tom said several times that it was becoming harder for them to deport people when they knew their rights. World Relief works with refugees and asylum seekers and immigrants. They're fantastic. Follow them everywhere. We Welcome is another organization that's nationwide. They're fantastic. Highest is another one. ACLU is working really, really hard right now to, especially in the legal realm, advocate for immigrant rights.
I'm proudly part of CARPER, the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression. I'm an attorney and I'm part of the National Lawyers Guild. We're a group of a progressive bar association, the very first integrated bar association in the United States. You got to join an organization, whether it is Indivisible here, whether it's the Democratic Socialists of America, whether it's the Sunrise Movement, Sierra Club, ACLU, anything, you got to get out there, you got to get involved.
Disappeared.
people, are not always born revolutionaries. People are not always born, on the right side of things, and it's up to us to get them there. It's up to us to push the envelope everywhere we go. My name is Hussam Maraj. My org is U.S. Palestinian Community Network, USPCN. In Chicago, we're in coalition with the Chicago Coalition for Justice in Palestine. I think today's crowd was pretty good. I mean, it was very receptive. They were very receptive to the chants we had for Palestine. There was obviously people congregated. They knew what they were congregating here for. They saw the flags. They saw the chants. They heard the chants. And there was a lot of repetition. There's a lot of people that came up to us and thanked us for being here. Trump is grave danger, and the right-wing extremism that he brings to this country puts us all in great danger. You came out today. That's a great step. It's up to us, those who are more advanced, those are leaders, right, to bring those people who are not there yet closer to us, and instead of pushing them away, pushing them farther out. We don't want to exclude people. We can't give up on people. We can't give up on people because they chose Kamala Harris and they chose Biden and they're liberals. That's okay. Like you got to start somewhere. It's up to us to unite everybody. We don't have to be united on ideas, on all ideas, but we do have to be united in action. If we exclude people, we're going to continue losing. And we need to build the broadest movement as possible. You're against Trump, we will unite with you, because this is how dangerous this moment is. And that's how we should see it. It's not always black and white, It's not always black and white.
Every one of us is a terrible joiner. We're not like ditto heads. We're not people who walk in lockstep. Things like this are hard. It's very hard to get all these people in the same room together to say every one of these points is important. But we have to do that. It doesn't start up here. It starts here, And I agree with you. We all need to be organized. We all need to be in groups, even if we're not joiners.